Welcome to the Ill Blur Matty 365 channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share the channel, Brother Blur from the Midwest. Ooh. Welcome back, Legends community. It's the Blur from the middle of the map. And today I'm back with a new video. And today's new video is actually going to be talking about Spider-Man. I will leave the playlist up for you guys that want to go check out the playlist. Go run it up so I can get these views up. Like I said, I'm trying to grow the channel and actually monetize it, of course, right? So, we're going to be talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day, the new Spider-Man movie that is coming out later on this year in July. And it seems like Sony and Marvel are doing something that we've never seen before when it comes to a number of villains within a movie, especially a superhero movie at that. It is rumored pretty much that Spider-Man will have the biggest roster of villains within Spider-Man for a Brand New Day. And the thing is, today I'm going to be talking about the villains that are either going to be in the movie and the ones that are rumored to be in this movie. And actually, this is something that is surprising because I'm like, whoa. Spider-Man having a lot more villains? Like, what? But also, I'm going to be talking about why fans are worried as well, because this is something to think about. Like, y'all sure y'all want to do this? So let's talk about the first villain, because the first villain was introduced to us in the very first entry to the Spider-Man for Tom Holland's movies. And he was in the original trilogy. And it's no other than Vulture, right? Honestly, I think Vulture did a great job. The actor that played Vulture, Michael Keaton, I would like to see Michael Keaton return. I know he was speculated to return actually in Spider-Man No Way Home, but he got villain swapped. I guess they said, look, maybe Michael Keaton might have other things going on movie-wise, and pretty much he ended up not returning for that. And like I said before, I think he did a really great job as a villain. I was like, you know what? He nailed the role as Vulture. No one else could do this role as good as Michael Keaton. You know what I'm saying? Like, he goated the role. The next actual actor, the next actual Spider-Man villain, when it comes down to it, that we've seen in animated stuff, either in the animated Miles Morales first Spider-Man movie, Into the Spider-Verse, and it's no other than Tombstone. And honestly, Birdman hand rub, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's about time we saw Tombstone in a live adoption movie. When it comes down to it, I'm really happy about that. I was like, you know what? I could definitely see Tombstone actually being a threat. He is also rumored to be the big villain for this Spider-Man movie. And I'm like, I like this. I like he's going to be a big villain for this. The next villain we've already seen before in an actual alternate ending for the early Spider-Man movies that came out with Tom Holland. And this actually makes a lot of sense because we haven't seen him debut as a villain, and he's also rumored to be another big villain, and it's no other than Scorpion. I think Scorpion is such a great choice. I'm like, you know what? We haven't seen Spider-Man came across him and actually fight him within the movie. Like I said, he was just in a post-credit ending scene for it. I was like, okay, yeah, we're introduced to him, but we haven't seen him debut as a villain in the suit and actually being in New York fighting Spider-Man. So I'm like, you know what? Look, yes, bring it. Now, the next villain is someone that honestly, I was like, you know what? We haven't seen him in a live adoption either. And he's been in the animated stuff, and, I was like, yeah, maybe it is time to show him. Chameleon. Chameleon is rumored to be in this movie as well. And I was like, yeah, this is getting good. Birdman hair rub again. Like I said before, I think Chameleon will be a combative foe, but also very cunning because he is a shapeshifter type of villain anyway. So yeah, Chameleon, good choice. Now, let's get into the next tier, because you got your A tier villains, B tier, C, and D villains, and maybe even E, right? I'm not really for sure how that goes, right? Speculation on E. So it seems like with this movie, we know they're going to be sacked with villains. The next tier of villains are not really popular villains. I guess you could say like they're like I said, they're not really popular based. And let's get into it. Tarantula is expected to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Then after that, there's a villain, and I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. There's a villain called 8-Ball. I've never heard of this villain. All right, so you know this villain is not in the top rankings for Spider-Man villains when it comes to doing villain things. 8-Ball, all right? And then you got the Enforcers, which is like a group of villains. And then there is another villain. Oh, Boomerang. Boomerang is expected to appear in this actually as well. And then there is another villain. I'm trying to figure out. Jackal. Jackal is the other villain that is expected to be in this movie. So, it is speculated that Spider-Man Brand New Day will have a total of double villains. So, the number that is rumored is 10 villains. Woo! That's a lot. Now, some of the villains will end up being in the new storyline for Spider-Man Gang Wars, which is also expected to be the next crossover movie when it comes to Marvel Studios. And that makes sense as a montage for the opening of Spider-Man Brand New Day. So some of these villains you will only see in the opening scene, like maybe Spider-Man fighting them, or maybe them doing stuff. It's still risky. Very, 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 very risky. Now let's talk about why fans are worried, because that is a problem. They double-digiting Spider-Man villains over there at Sony and Marvel Studios. Now, let's talk about it. The reason why fans are worried makes complete sense. All right, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm keeping it a bean, keeping it a buck with you guys. This could hurt the movie because it could dilute it. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that maybe this movie is going in a direction where, yes, we know Spider-Man movies tend to have action, right? But it may dilute the story behind the movie, right? Because superhero movies have a storyline, right? But if it's too action-y based and not given the story base, this could hurt the movie, right? Yeah, this is risky. This is definitely risky. I can understand why fans are worried, because you gotta remember, yes, the other Spider-Man movies, other Spider-Man movies had villains in them, right? No Way Home had the biggest amount of villains in the past, right? From the previous trilogy. But is this movie gonna be successful with all these villains being included in the movie, right? Because Spider-Man movies tend to do extremely well, right? Like the last trilogy is $1 billion franchise based off the last two movies. The first movie was $1 million. Is this movie gonna be successful? That is the biggest question, because the thing is, yes, you can have a lot of villains in the movie, but is this going to help build the movie? I understand this is going to be a part of the gang war storyline within the Spider-Man comic. I understand that. But is the villain count going to help improve the quality of the movie? That is the real question. I can understand why fans are worried. I get it. I understand it 100% why they're worried, because the other Spider-Man movies did really well with Tom Holland Spider-Man. And now you're adding more villains. Now, I know for a fact that Spider-Man going to have allies. It's rumored that Black Cat will be an ally within this movie. Most likely Daredevil. Hulk is in the movie. So I'm like, he's going to have a team of other people helping him fight these villains as well, probably. I really hope Sony and Marvel made the right decision, because this is a lot. But it is the hardest work on YouTube, guys. You tell me in the comments, do you think this Spider-Man movie will be successful due to it having a lot more villains? It is the hardest work on YouTube, guys. I'm gonna run that outro for you, and I'm out, legends. Thanks for watching my channel. Like, comment, and share, and subscribe to the channel. The Ill Blooded Matic 365. Ooh.